What's up, nerds? Welcome to DNA Pow Block, our all Nintendo show. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, king of the Nintendo himself, Edward Varnell. Ed, so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be back. Pow Block, I love you so much. I miss you.
We took a little break. Took a little break from Pow Block, but 2017 is bringing it back. Woo!
Yes.
So
just like the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, bringing back some Wii U games. Woo! Woo! No? Okay. So what we're going to do with Pow Block now is every day we're going to have a segment from Pow Block go up. So Ed and I, and probably Kyle, when he comes back to Pow Block, we're going to have it sectioned out day by day at 9 a.m. on our YouTube page, and then the full episodes will go up on Saturday. We're going to just have different segments, and we'll have the full episode go up on Saturday for easier way for you to consume the content. And so that's what we decided to do. And the way to kick that off is Ed. We're going to talk about our top 25 Wii U games.
Yes.
Of all time. Now, there's a couple caveats to this. We aren't allowing HD remasters or remakes, and no virtual console games. But indies are allowed, and obviously, the bigger games from the Wii U are obviously allowed. So no HD remasters or remakes, and no virtual console games. Although, if you do have honorable mentions, you are allowed to have those in the honorable mentions. So,
yay!
Yes. So,
and this, I have to say, this list was very hard. And
I know.
And it happens to me. I know personally, for me, it happens to every Nintendo console that I've owned and that I play. Making a list for them of some of the best games or like the top games is very hard to do, because I was looking at the list for the Wii U, and people said, "Well, there's not much to play." Yes, there is. There's
so much to play.
Yes,
there's so much
between first, indie, and third party. There's a lot of great games that even if you go to GameStop and you try to buy, they're still like in a $25 and up range compared to what the other competition, I should say, has.
Yeah. I actually was going through this list, and I started writing down all of the Wii U games that I purchased, and then all like the indie games and games that are like, to me, they're great Wii U games on other platforms. And I started writing all those down, and I'm like, man, there's so many games here. I don't even know how to like pick these. It's so hard. And like there's games on this list that I didn't necessarily play on Wii U, but it is available on Wii U, and I went back and bought it for that system later.
Yes.
A lot of great games like indie games like Axiom Verge, Shovel Knight, Guacamelee. There's just so many, and I'm just like, man, how do you make a list out of all these amazing games? And like, there's games not on my list that I've loved on Wii U, and that's how many games are on this system that I love.
And when you put like with no remasters and Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess, even though they can't be on the list, I think they are one of the two must-haves for Wii U. I mean, there's a lot of Wii U games that are must-haves, but those two, like, if you missed them and you didn't play them on the GameCube when they originally came out, those two are just like, they need to be in your library and they need to be played.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I know like the big joke for DNA for years has been like, I think Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game. Like that's just like the running joke. But and I also feel like I'm one. You and me are kind of like the only people who champion that game sometimes. But like I love that game so much, and like that game would probably be in my top 5 Wii U games if I was allowed to put it on this list.
Exactly. It's such a well-designed game. Like it's to me, it's bigger than Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, and it has the best dungeons.
Yes, I still love the mansion dungeon and the winter getting the soup. Like I still love that dungeon.
Oh, I know. It's so good. And like the like even the wolf stuff is in like even though it's not as great, it's still interesting to play as the wolf. And like I'm really excited to have my wolf pet in Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I wonder how we're gonna do that game once that comes out and we revisit this list.
It's I think if we revisit it, I would say games that we miss.
Yep.
That should be on the games that the games that weren't released when we made a list or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on there. Ukulele will probably be on there. Bloodstained might be on there.
Well, Ukulele is not going to be on Wii U no more.
That's what I'm saying. Like it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are probably gonna play Breath of the Wild on Switch, and like, you know, if whoever gets a Wii U, like people like say 10 or 15 years down the road when people are looking for Wii U's to play Nintendo games, like people are looking for GameCubes or N64s now.
Yeah,
and they got to pick up Wii U and they try to find a list of games that they like missed on Wii U. Like, we'll provide that.
Yes. That's what we do at Pow Block. We help you, viewers and listeners.
We help you discover the Nintendo in you.
Yes.
Is that something?
We help you discover Nintendo games that you don't want to trade in. You can trade in anything else from Xboxes and PlayStation 4 all you want to. The Nintendo games, not so much, because when you try to buy them back, they're going to be high in demand and kind of hard to find.
They're already hard to find. I was looking like on Amazon, I was looking at Wii U games that like I don't own and I would like to eventually purchase before, you know, the Switch comes out, before they're really hard to find. And even like new Super Luigi U, like the hard copy of that is still like $60 on Amazon, or like,
oh wow.
You know, there's a couple other ones that I missed. Like Lego City Undercover, the non-Nintendo Selects version is like $75. Wii Sports Club is like $80. It's like these games are this still current generation and are still this hard to find.
Dude, I have people still ask me, where's Wii Fit U at? Like, I'm gonna buy that.
I know. And like, Nintendo always sells through stuff, and they look at their stock and then they just don't print it anymore, which sucks sometimes, especially later in the generation when people are like, some people are getting their Wii U's for Christmas, or you know, people are finally picking up a Wii U after not being able to afford one or something. And it's like, what games do you buy? Well, I have a ton to recommend to you, but sometimes you're going to have to search a little harder or pay a little bit more than you want. And that sucks.
Or get the digital version off the eShop.
Yeah.
Get a My Nintendo account and a 2 terabyte and go at it.
Speaking of getting at it, we should get at our lists. So,
yes.
I was trying to think about how we would be doing this list, and do we want to make a proper top 25 list, how we did on Connected, where we score each one with points and then we just run down the list? We add the points together and then that would be our definitive list. Or do we just want to go? Or do we just want to
go through the list?
Okay, we'll just go.
Yeah, let's go through the list. Because the thing about it is that we'll probably have the same games on there, and regardless of where they're at in our list, know that, you know, if it's a game that we come across that we always talked about, we can move on.
Yeah.
Add whatever we need to add.
Okay. So we're gonna do our honorable mentions first, and then we'll jump into our top 25. I don't really need to say much about any of these, so I'm just gonna yell them out. NES Remix, I thought, was a great little experiment, especially for people who needed a challenge and love retro games. I think that this was a cool little experiment. Both of them are really cool. Lego City Undercover gave Nintendo fans that kind of open world GTA experience, if you want to go that route, but like in a Nintendo way. And they had a lot of cool little Easter eggs in there. You know, even the stars from Super Mario Sunshine were in there, so that was really cool. Minecraft or Wii U edition, I think, is a cool thing that they finally did, even though we said it would have been cool about 7 or 8 years ago on Wii when the game was actually popular. And then Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. I mean, I don't think I need to say much about those games. Those games are must-haves for the system. Like I said earlier, they're just ineligible for our list because they're both remakes or remasters. So I think those two games, though, are like top 5 if we did include those on the list. So that's what I have to say for my honorable mentions. What about yours, Ed?
Well, my honorable mentions is Injustice, Gods Among Us. A lot of people, you know, even though it is a multi-platform game, the Wii U version, that even though some people say that's not the one to get, it became one of the hardest games to find. And you still can find PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 versions of that game. Wii U, not so much. So that kind of says a lot about that game. It is really good, and I do recommend if people actually find a physical copy. I give it a go. Such a
I love that game. I would actually argue that the way the Wii U controller is set up with the Pro controller with the D-pad at the bottom of the controller, yes, on the same level as the face buttons, I would almost say that that's the definitive controller to have, especially for fighting game fans, because you're always looking for I mean, for people who don't use fight sticks, you're going to use the D-pad, and that D-pad, if it's on the same level as the face buttons, you have a clear advantage over like the staggered stick approach of an Xbox.
That's a lot. Oh, that would be so cool if your Wii U game Pro controller connected with your Switch system.
I bet it will. I hope so because I have 3 Pro controllers, and it would be kind of nice not to have to like buy one.
Exactly. But if I have to, I will. My number 2, Jotun Valhalla Edition. It's such a nice Zelda game, beautiful art style, and because we didn't get Hyper Light Drifter, I think this game is a good recommendation. Freedom Planet is the like Sonic inspired 2D platformer. They did announce this Freedom Planet 2, but this game is so much fun to play on Wii U. Pokken Tournament, very, very great, challenging fighting game. You might think that it's not deep, but you play with some good players. My very own co-host Tony Zilakakis from World 1-1, we fought and he beat the mess out of me, and we played more and more, and it's such a fun game. It really is deep, and you would be surprised that it's so good when it came out over some of the big name games. And my last but not least, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U Edition, because who can forget that putting a fighter in a Wario costume and Mega Mushrooms and all kinds of crazy zaniness being in the Tekken game just heightens the craziness that game has always been known. So those are my honorable mentions.
Nice. Oh man. That was a good list. That was a good list of honorable mentions.
And that was all 10
I
games.
know.
Just 10 games out the bat.
I know. So from now on, we're just gonna volley back and forth, and then have like a little discussion on each game that's mentioned. And if it's a repeat, you can say a little piece about it again. But my 25th game, Zombie U for Wii U. I think that this game, Ubisoft does a lot for Nintendo, especially at the beginning of a console generation. They always like to take risks and experiment with their tech. And I thought Zombie U to this day is still one of the best reasons to own the Wii U for the gamepad. It does a lot of cool things with the gamepad, the backpack stuff. It requires you to shuffle through your backpack and look down away from the screen where the action is happening, and it causes a lot more tension. And I know that this game got re-released recently for PS4 and Xbox One, but it doesn't have the tension that the Wii U version has. Like, you got to look down, you got to use it as your map, you got to use it as an inventory screen. It just does a lot for that game, and I think that Ubisoft did a good job with that. What do you think about Zombie U there, Ed?
Yeah. Actually, that's my number 21 game on my list. With Zombie U, I have to say that it brings a new meaning to horror. Like, because it now, instead of just looking at it and solving puzzles, it puts you into the ultimate action of being in a zombie-fested town. And what will you actually do? How would you feel? How tense you could get? I believe that Zombie U just provided that great horror. And the funny thing is that last year, 14, people were asking for Zombie U on Wii U. So many people were wanting to play, and it became a hard property to find. We had Fatal Frame Black Maiden. Zombie U was just like, I really want to play this game. And even when they announced the game coming out for PS4 and or PS3 and Xbox 360 or Xbox One, really nobody didn't pick it up for that system because they wanted it on Wii U. Horror and that fear experience. So it's your 25th, but it's my 21.
Yeah. So my 24 game, if you bought the deluxe edition, it was the pack-in Nintendo Land. I thought Nintendo Land was a really cool kind of party experience. I had a lot of fun, especially with the Zelda minigame with other people. The Donkey Kong roller coaster type thing was really cool. And the Metroid stuff was awesome, especially if you had the gamepad flying around the ship. And even the Luigi's Mansion stuff was really cool. The fifth player had to use the gamepad, and the four other people were the ghosts on screen. It was so cool. Oh, so cool. I thought that whole concept of like a theme park was an awesome thing to build a minigame collection out of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my 24 game.
Okay, and my 24th game is actually one of your honorable mentions, NES Remix. To be able to take a 8-bit game and challenge people and make people think that, oh, I remember how to, oh no, I don't remember how to play this. Oh, I got to do this challenge. Everybody couldn't believe how Nintendo, to say the least, and did a fantastic job. It's such a great game. So NES Remix is my choice.
Nice. I think NES Remix is a really cool experiment. I liked the I know this was on NES Remix too, but where you played Super Mario Brothers backwards as Luigi.
Oh wow, yeah.
I thought that was a really cool game.
It kind of feels
number
like
23 on my.
Oh, before you go to 20, it kind of feels like a precursor to the NES Mini Classic in a way.
Yeah. I wonder how that those like talks went after that game came out. Man, these people are really eating up these 8-bit games. We should put a little console out.
Yeah.
Good work, Nintendo. And thanks to you, Ed, for my NES Classic. Just playing it before the show. It was awesome. I love it. I love that thing. Ed got me one for Christmas. I love this guy. He's the best.
Oh,
Ed, you're the best.
oh, I'm blushing.
I love you so much.
I can't see it.
My 23 game is Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm not really a huge Lego game guy, but I think that this is arguably the best Lego game that's out right now. It was really cool just to see some of the extra stuff that they threw in there. They did a little episode 7 prequel stuff. They did a bunch of cool things with the characters, and I really felt like they captured episode 7 without being. I mean, I know Lego does the thing where they like to make fun of stuff that happens in these really weird ways. Like in Indiana Jones, when he pulls out the gun, he really pulls out a banana, or like some of the other goofy stuff that Lego does and is known for. But I thought they did it really well. It was just fun to play. It was just a good palate cleanser game, and it was just really fun and the right game at the right time, I think.
Yeah.
And I like how they took their time too. They didn't like, pardon my word choice, but they didn't force it out when the movie came out. You know, so they took their time and released it 6 months later in it, and I really enjoyed it. It was really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I still need to get it. It is on my list of games to get.
Yeah, it's awesome. I actually played it on PS4, but I would put it on my Wii U list.
Okay. So my 23 is Costume Quest 2. And I chose this because I heard a lot of people say that the Costume Quest games are good. And a good RPG on the Wii U is always welcome. And Costume Quest 2 is that, you know, for a Double Fine game, that's surprising that they put that on that platform. Psychonauts on on Wii U, but like a HD remastered Psychonauts, I would take any time. But Costume Quest 2 is my
nice. I've actually never played Costume Quest. I didn't play the second one or the first one. I downloaded the first one on Xbox 360 and just never got around to playing it. I should play it. Dang it, I should play it. I need more time.
Other games.
Exactly. I need more time. My number 22 game, Yoshi's Woolly World. I think that game is just. I know it's probably a lot lower on my list than it is on yours, but I still think that game is. It's relatively simple until you start going for the collectibles, and then it gets really challenging. It's almost as challenging as a level in 2D side-scrolling Mario, like what people would call a real Mario game. Trying to get to some of these places, using your eggs and your platforms the correct way, using the flutter jump the right way. It's just some of these things are just so hard to get, and I think that game is awesome. I can't wait till it comes to 3DS because I'm probably gonna play the crap out of it again.
Yeah, we got reserved pre-sale cards for it, so I'm gonna get one of the pre-sale cards and just be like, I need this game like right to me out. Like have to, yeah, because I have it for my Wii U and I love every bit for it. And to just to hear that game through my headphone set on the go. I'll speak about that a little bit later. It's like you said, it is higher on my list. So when I get to that, I'll give my reasons why. Yeah,
I like that. I just adore that game. I think it's one of the best looking games on the console too. So, so good.
Yeah. So my 22nd game is Child of Light. Beautiful music, great gameplay. I know the rhyming scheme some people had a problem with, but it's such a lovely RPG. It's in the vein to me as Nintendo's Ori and the Blind Forest. or not Nintendo, I should say Xbox's one version of Ori and the Blind Forest. Yes, it's not a Metroid game, but the artistry that's in Child of Light on Wii U, and you can find it almost on any platform, but on Wii U, like when they announced it, I bought it the day it came out, and it's just fantastic in on so many levels. The gameplay is good. The story is nice, but like the music and the artistry, I say, is still just beautiful to this very day. So Child of Light, Ubisoft game at that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about with Zombie U. They like to do a lot of cool things for Nintendo, and I know that Child of Light came out on everything, but I'm glad that they put it on Wii U, and I think that it saw a lot of success there. And that game is an absolutely beautiful game. Love that game. My number 21 game is don't be mad at me, Ed. Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed. I think is
yes.
Oh yes, good. You approve. I think that game is an awesome kart racer, especially when we didn't have Mario Kart on the system at the time. And I thought it was so cool. And the Nintendo version got Wreck-It Ralph. And
dude, the game on Wii U. So I think, was it on Wii 2 or just Wii U?
It was on Wii also, I think.
Regardless of Wii or Wii U, that game came out, it's so like hotcakes. It continues to sell well on the Nintendo platforms. Like, it really is a good racer.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love that game so much, and the fact that like the Nintendo version's got the exclusive Wreck-It Ralph character. I was just like, because I love that movie, and that was like one of the main reasons why I bought it, was because I love Wreck-It Ralph so much.
Wreck-It Ralph was good.
But if you need another kart race besides Mario Kart, definitely Sonic All Stars Transformed. It's amazing, so good.
And I think it's available for $19.99 if you go into stores. Like, it's still available to buy. So as a $20 game, recommend that game too. Like I said, 21 was Zombie U for mine. So Corey, what's your number 20?
My number 20 is Rayman Legends. I think
good. Yes, good choice.
Not as great as the Mario games for sure, but definitely awesome display of Ubisoft using that UB art engine. And the way that game is, that game does a lot of cool things with music, and when platforming to the beats of the music, and trying to pull off different things to the beats of music, and that not every level is like that, but a lot of levels are like that, and it's cool when you feel really good because you're playing to the beat of the music and you're pulling off cool things to the beat of the music, and it just, the sense you get in your stomach is like, oh man, this is awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. So that's my number 20 game.
And my number 20 is one of your honorable mentions again, Lego City Undercover. Just like you said, open world, GTA style, very comedic. It's like people, I completely forgot all about that game when it sold out, and when they brought it as a Nintendo Select and even announced it for the other systems, I was like, oh yeah, that is right. This game, like Nintendo and the folks who make the Lego get
Traveler's Tales.
Traveler's Tales, yeah. I was about to say Tales. Traveler's Tales, like coming together to make this game, because a lot of people don't realize that the Lego games always sell better on Nintendo platforms. So this was a smart business move on Nintendo and Traveler's Tales part of making that game is firstly exclusive to that system. And so I mean I'm going to be picking it up also for like the 1999 Nintendo Select because I did miss it and I didn't have my Wii U just yet when it first came out. But I can't wait to play this game. So good. But that's number 20 on my list.
Nice. So my number 19 game, I know when I go back to it and play it and actually finish it, it's going to be higher on my list. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE is a beautiful game. And I liked Persona a lot on the Vita. Persona 4 Golden, and this game does a lot of similar things that Persona does, but it also puts Fire Emblem in there, and the music is just so upbeat. The music is so upbeat and cheerful, and just like it just makes you happy listening to the music and playing the game. And oh my gosh, I wish I would have stuck with it the first time, but I'm going to play it as soon as I'm done with Final Fantasy 15. Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Twilight Princess are next on my list. I told you I'm keeping a gaming journal, and it's so I can keep track of the games I played this year and what I did in them. And, even on future shows, it'll create talking points for me. And so
kind of like my Destiny kind of journal.
Yeah. And that's that game. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to tell you how happy that game makes me when I see it.
Can I before, because it's on my list and I'm going to really get into that when I get to it. Watch, if you do not believe us, watch the trailers.
Yeah.
When Corey talks about the music and the art style, those trailers are proving you right. Like, you have to watch it, because I even went on Twitter and was asking some people, I'm just like, are these real songs from an artist or anything? Because I really want the soundtrack to Tokyo Mirage Session. Like, it's that good.
Yeah, it's good. You need to watch trailers. You need to watch if you can find some let's plays that haven't been flagged by Nintendo. You need to watch them. If you like JRPGs at all and own a Wii U, you need to play this game. It's man, I need to get back to that game. Just talking about it makes me want to get back to that game. So that was my number 19 game.
My number 19 is actually now a pack-in, or you could buy it for $60 still. New Super Mario and Luigi Brothers Wii U. Yeah. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, great game, fantastic level design. This game takes it to another level. Like, it's beyond beautiful. The platforming and game design is still challenging. It's just it varies on how you want to approach it. We're still with 4 players. If you want it easy, it could be easy. If you want it difficult, it's going to be difficult. Luigi Brothers Wii U is it's the Super Mario Brothers 2 Japanese version on NES difficulty. And I'm glad whatever they charged when it first came out, because my mom, she actually has both versions. She has New Super Mario Brothers by itself, and then she has Luigi Wii U separate. It's difficult.
Yeah.
And if you think that Mario games are only for kids, play one. Play this game, and you will see how challenging both games are, especially Luigi U. So that is my 19th pick. I love both of those games. I love the challenge. There's something about me controlling Luigi and Mario, and knowing how to use both characters, because you can't use both of them at the same time. Like my friend playing your skill of playing Mario is going to be way different on how you do Luigi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I totally agree with you. That game is, it's hard. That's that's the one thing I can say about the game is like you think the later levels of a traditional Mario game are hard. Wait till you play this. It's just
yes.
It's have fun. I don't really know what to tell you. It's hard.
Be prepared because this is the 2-player Dark Souls.
Yeah,
that's how I compare it to.
It's hard, and like the timer on the levels is shorter too. So like, not only is the level more difficult, but you also have less time to finish.
You got 100 seconds. Run.
Yeah, just run, run. Yeah, good pick, Ed. Good pick. My number 18 pick is also a platformer. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. A little disappointed that it wasn't a Metroid game that Retro was working on, but those Donkey Kong games are really good, and that game is no joke. It's relatively hard, also, especially later in the game. It's I like it a lot. I like the art direction in some of like the shadow levels. I think the verticality of the levels works well.
What was Retro thinking when they went into this game with art? Like I love the Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii, but this game is beyond gorgeous. And I'm like, for a 2D game, they took the artistry to like another, I keep saying another level, but everything pops.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. And it's just like, you talking about now. I said Luigi U was difficult. Tropical Freeze is Dark Souls plus hard. Platform, like your platforming skills are going to be tested.
Yeah, and even
your platforming skills.
And even if you nail a jump, like if you're nailing a jump and you're like, yeah, I nailed that jump, there's an enemy up top throwing something at you, or like a cannon in the background shooting cannonballs at you, and they can hit you when you nail a jump and knock you off, and you're just like, dang it, and you just watch them blink and fall to the ground, or like run away, and you start playing as Diddy Kong, or it was just like, come on, man.
Yeah. So I mean, the game is worth the investment. I love Tropical Freeze, and I love going back and playing that game and getting my tail beat, because I sometimes gotta remind myself that my platforming skills need to be at another level. So only way to get it to get my platforming skills to that level that I need, play Tropical Freeze. That just does it straight justice.
Yeah. So that's my 18 game. What's your 18 game, Ed?
It's going to shock a lot of people. Star Fox Zero. People say that this game was disappointing. People have different views and stuff about it. But I love the fact of the gameplay mechanics on how it feels like. Talk about immersion in the game. Immersion is not sitting down on a bed or on a couch and playing with a controller. Immersion to me is not just VR only and getting that feel. What Nintendo and Platinum did was fantastic with Star Fox Zero. That you have to, if you ever thought of being a pilot or ever actually like getting that feel on how it feels to be in even let's take Star Wars for example, to be in a cockpit like that and fly around, you just can't look at a TV screen and be like, oh, that's how it goes, and to be satisfied. They really immerse you into the action of this game, and you have to micromanage and be aware of what's going on with your surroundings. So you got to look up, you got to look down, you got to make sure fly at the right time, be able to line up your shots and stuff. Like if you were a real pilot or ever thought about it, or even think about how the pilots in Star Wars felt, getting that little viewpoint, Star Fox Zero to me personally nails it. And then to get the Star Fox Guard as an added bonus, like in the box art is still beautiful. I still think it's one of the best box art of 2016. Like I completely enjoyed this game. So even if you feel like you're disappointed or anything, to me personally, Star Fox Zero is high on the mark of like a really great game. It might not be the Star Fox that some people wanted or you might want, but give it a try. I do recommend giving it a try. If you want to borrow it from a friend who got it or they'll sell it to you, take them up on that offer. But it is, to me personally, one of the top games on Wii U. That's why. But even though it's number 18, it's a recommended for me to play.
Yeah,
fantastic and all.
I actually almost put Star Fox on my honorable mention list, and I actually almost put Star Fox Guard on my top 25 list because of how great those mini games are, or that mini game is, and like watching the security cameras and protecting things with that. It's just, I like that mini game a lot, and I thought it was smart to pack that in with it. And Star Fox Zero is one of those games that you're either going to like or you're not. It's not going to be one of those games where you're like, oh, this game's okay. I feel like, the stuff they did with the gamepad, like the motion control stuff was not preferable, but I liked the ideas they had, and I liked that they were really, really going for that N64 nostalgia that everybody wanted them to do in the first place, which is why I think that I like that game a lot, is because like it wasn't Star Fox Adventures, it wasn't Assault, it was Star Fox 64, but HD on the Wii U, and gave us a little extra bells and whistles, and the environments were I've never seen such pretty water in my life.
Oh, and I gotta mention the anime short is, oh my goodness, the anime short, I want more. I was just like, I really want more. And I would say this for people who felt disappointed about it: you kind of got to realize what Nintendo was trying to do for Star Fox. Now, for a lot of people, top 10 disappointed lists and stuff, Star Fox Zero gets mentioned and is lower compared to No Man's Sky. So that says something about it wasn't that bad. It might have been disappointing in a certain way, but it wasn't disappointing as No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
Sky. But I'm just like, when something like that is on a lot of people's list, it to me personally, I feel I'm not offended about that.
Yeah. I still think like there's a lot of things I probably would have liked to see different about Star Fox, but at the same time, we got that Star Fox game that we've been asking for 20 years. So,
Right.
It was good to see that game. I'm glad that game exists, and like, personally, I would still recommend it, Star Fox 64 over this one. But in terms of an HD, I would still say quality Wii U game. Like Star Fox is definitely a game you should at least check out, because those motion controls, they're not for everybody, but the people that like the motion controls will get this game and like it.
And I think that's what I like about it, is that it's one of the challenge that it makes you learn.
Yeah,
and when you have to learn
to play the game different, like people,
right? I like when games do that.
I think part of the reason why people don't like Star Fox Zero is because it teaches them to do something different than what they already know, which is, the ship will shoot in the direction that you're flying. Well, no, it won't. You need to move the controller like, you would move a turret and aim, because you're not always going to be, flying in the direction that the enemies are, and you're going to need to take those enemies out. So I think that's part of the reason why people disliked Star Fox is because it changed the way they knew what Star Fox felt like.
Yes.
But good pick.
So
Good
what's your number 17?
Good discussion on Star Fox. I like that. I'm glad we had that discussion. I liked it. My number 17 game. I played this game on 3DS, but it's also on Wii U. Mighty Switch Force.
I was going to put that one too.
I like that game a lot. I think that game has a lot of character. I think it has a lot of charm. Even when you boot it up, it's just like
funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and I think that game just deserves to be played, and it's fun. And I know a lot of people are like Mutant Muds and SteamWorld Dig and all these other indie games, but Mighty Switch Force I feel like was a game that didn't get enough love, and I think people should be playing it. And even if you don't have a Wii U and you have a 3DS, you should play it there. It's so good.
You have it for Wii U. I have one and two on Wii U, and I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I have 1 and 2 on Wii U and 3DS. Because, nice. I want to play my Nintendo games on the go. Maybe Nintendo should watch this episode and make their next console a game that you can play on your TV and on the go.
Are you talking about another 3DS?
No, I'm talking about the Switch.
Oh, Corey,
what?
We have from the time of this recording, we have 11 days.
Oh, I know,
Thursday.
Dude. That day, inside info for you guys watching this current episode. That day, we need to do a live. We should do a live POW block during. What I think I'm going to do is set up OBS so we can Twitch stream it from the DNA Twitch page. Which I'll get that all set up and look real pretty and stuff. But we should do a live reactions. Like we should react to the conference, and then as soon as that's over, we should do a reacts to the conference.
Yeah, I know definitely for me, it's all day podcasting, like everywhere. I'm gonna be like, for any show that needs another person, let me be on it so I can discuss the Nintendo Switch and like listen out.
That week, you're gonna have to be on POW Block. You're gonna have to come on NGR the following week. You're gonna have to,
Optional Opinion, World 1-1.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I know this is a Wii U top 25 thing. What's your 17 game?
Shovel Knight. And the reason why Shovel Knight is kind of like halfway middle of the list. Great 2D platformer. Yacht Club, former members of Way Forward, just made a fantastic soundtrack. Is still awesome. I love the gameplay. I don't see the Mega Man comparisons in it like people are saying. I just think it's a good tale inspired if you want to add that hop mechanic, how hop attack as one of the mechanics. Other than that, I'm like, it stands right on its own and it's still going strong. The day that it came out, it was a day one purchase, and I just love, like, I'm glad that for some people it got Game of the Year award, Game of the Year nominations and awards and stuff. And the game is still going strong, still selling out. And this is a game I just recently got it on my 3DS, and I'm playing it on there. And I think I still got to download the soundtrack. But it's such a good game, so polished. And met some delays and stuff, and the story behind it is like something that you need to read and hear from these developers. It's mind-blowing good. Like all the hard work that they put into that game, I'm so glad they've been rewarded, being able to put it on multiple platforms and selling them and continue to sell so well. But Shovel Knight, great gameplay, and the DLC for the game is free, and there's a lot of content. Yeah,
there's so much DLC.
I think Plagues of Shadows just came out, so I mean that's available, and it's free. Like their DLC feels like all new games.
Yeah.
as long as the duration of Shovel Knight. Like, so this is a game, and when it came out, it was only $20.
I know.
No, $15 when it came
I think was it only 15?
out when it first came out.
Oh my gosh. Dude,
It's $20 for the physical copy, but for the digital, it was $15.
Well, I mean, I've bought that game so many times that I don't even know. Like, I've probably given that company $100. Let's see. I bought it.
Yeah,
I bought it on Wii U. I bought it on 3DS. I bought it on PS4 because they had a bonus level in it for. I think they had the God of War boss, and then the Xbox version has the Battletoads in it. I had to. Yeah, it's amazing.
I understand.
Oh, Shovel Knight. Oh, that game's on my list further up too. So, but we'll get there later. It's quite a lot higher than that on my list. But number 16 for me. And yes, I did play the next couple games of mine on this list are on multiple platforms, but I did play all these games on Wii U. So my number 16 game is Batman Arkham Origins. I still stand by that game is really good. I know a lot of people don't like it because it wasn't Rocksteady and it was still like Arkham, but not really. It had a different voice for Batman and the Joker, but I still think Troy Baker's Joker sounds just like Mark Hamill's Joker. It's almost indistinguishable, I think. It was a cool story. It was just a cool story and a cool game. And it did what I think City failed to do and created the Arkham Asylum small space Metroid-y feel in an open world, but it did it smartly where it had the open sewers underneath that you needed specific keys to get to the next area. The whole city wasn't open to you at the beginning. You had to complete different challenges and different missions and fight different bosses to open up other parts of the city. And then the whole Bane sequence in that game, that boss fight was amazing. The Deathstroke fight was amazing. It was a cool game, and I think that game deserves a lot more credit than it does. And it's actually right now it's my second favorite of the Arkham games behind Asylum. I think that game is really strong. I think it's really good. So that's my number.
I do have that game. I just need to. I think I'm gonna restart it, and be more committed to it. Because I was playing it and I'm just like, this is okay. But I think you just kind of won me over to really give it more time.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get into it too. That beginning is kind of slow, but that there's this point about 2-ish hours into the game where you go to fight Deathstroke, and you're in this. It's like some kind of factory, I think, and you're going through, and you hear him, but you don't know it's him, and then you go through, and Black Mask is taunting you as well, and Black Mask has because at this point you don't know it's a Joker story, and you're going through, and he's taunting you, and you find out that there's 9 assassins out to kill Batman, and one of them is Deathstroke, and you're out searching for Black Mask in this factory, and towards the end of the level you find out that Deathstroke's there, and he shuts down all the gates and stuff, and there's just this spotlight in this arena, and you have to fight him, and the fighting mechanic, it doesn't sound cool, but the way you fight literally changes for this one fight, and you have to learn how to a whole new control scheme to fight him, because he's powerful, he's got swords, he can kill you pretty quickly, and you have to learn this whole new control scheme while fighting the super powerful enemy, and it's cool. I think that fight is a standout in the Arkham series. I don't think that game gets enough credit. So good. So good.
I need to play it then. I have, like I said, I have it for Wii U. I just need to spend more time with it.
Yeah. And I did a
Well,
lot of the Riddler trophies just playing on the gamepad while I was watching TV too. Like that's a good game to like. It has a lot of like you want to play it on the TV for like big epic moments. But if you're just solving some of the Riddler trophies, like it's a good game that you can just sit and watch TV and play it on your gamepad.
yeah. Cool.
So.
Nice. Well, my number 16, I played this originally on PS3, but I love that this version did come out to Wii U, and it's Guacamelee Champion Edition. Mixing Metroid with Catre or whatever Lucha, whatever it is.
The Lucha Libre, the wrestling stuff.
Lucha Libre, yeah, the wrestling thing. I don't know if people like it's such a fantastic game, in the championship edition. It's like kind of definitive version. It's still so good. I love how they play they pay homage to Nintendo with some of the games. Like they have one of the Super Ombre brothers, and it looks like Mario. It's so funny, turn into that chicken. It's just running real fast. Like the game is funny, but it's so cool and well designed. Love the story and art. But yeah, Guacamelee Champion Edition is my number 16. I do recommend everybody to do get it. I haven't played Server yet. I know that's another game from Drinkbox Studio that's on Wii U. But I'll hopefully get to it soon. Hopefully pick that one up too, because they said that one was good too. But Guacamelee Championship Edition is my number 16.
That's funny, because my number 15 game is also Guacamelee. And I actually played it. I played about 80% of the game on the gamepad. While I was watching TV. That game is so good. I love that game so much. It's just this cool amalgamation of like it's almost more Castlevania-y than Metroid-y. I feel like so, but it's still that game. Oh, and you can turn it like the first time I turned into that chicken was just like, okay.
I fell out laughing because when he turned into the chicken and the speed of it, I was dead gone. I'm like, this is so Looney Tunes, but this is just hilarious.
I know. It was great. That game. So good. So good, Ed. So good.
Well, that was your 15. Then my 15 is Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. I love what they did with the frame rate. Even though you play the whole game on the gamepad, like, come on, let's just admit it. You play the game. It's a gamepad game. It looks extraordinary. I still think Nintendo is the best company of publisher and designer to actually experience different art styles and make it work for their games. This game has a nice claymation feel to it, and the
art is so amazing,
and it's challenging in the way of where they're going to place where Kirby needs to go. It still has some great platforming to it, but Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is one of the best games on Wii U from the Kirby series. Hopefully people can find a copy, because once again, it's sold out.
Yeah, and it's already more expensive on Amazon than it was when it came out, because I think that game was only $40 when it came out, and on Amazon it's like $50 something right now.
Yes, and you could use Amiibo for it. So,
I had my King Dedede Amiibo. I was so happy when they when Robobot came out. I was so excited that they redid some of the Kirby Amiibo, and I was like, yes, I found my King Dedede, because that's the only Kirby Amiibo that I wanted for Smash. Because like when I was playing Smash a lot when it first came out, like I was using King Dedede the whole time, even online, and like I was like, I need this amiibo, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then it was one of the ones that they released late, and it was like one of the first ones of that wave that sold out. And I was like, no, I need this. And then when Robobot
we'll have to have
came out, I was like, yes. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. We're gonna have the discussion on Amiibo, because
sounds like this
and not, and you know exactly, and it's not about just about it. My one thing is just that if they weren't gonna buy the Wii U, and she was the first one sold out everywhere.
Yeah. Amiibo. How do we fix the Amiibo problem? That's going to be a future episode.
Continue to buy more, and I love the Amiibos. I don't care what anybody say. I love them.
I do too. I probably have
Corey,
like 25 or 30 of them. I got 2 of the Zelda 30th anniversary ones. For
I
Christmas.
got all 3 of them.
I didn't get the Wind Waker ones. I got the 8-bit one, and then I got the Ocarina one.
I got the 8-bit, the Ocarina, and the Wind Waker ones.
Nice. I need to find the Wind Waker ones eventually. But yeah.
I might pick one up and send it your way.
No, you're not allowed to send me anything else. No.
But boss. But Corey, what's your number 14?
Darksiders 2. It was one of the last games THQ put out, and they ported it to Wii U, and I really like that game a lot. It was if you guys never played Darksiders, it's pretty much a dark Zelda type game, and it has the combat.
Let's rephrase that.
The dungeons.
Let's rephrase that.
What?
If you haven't played Darksiders, pick up Darksiders the remaster version for Wii U.
Yeah,
because it is available.
Yeah.
Oh, but go ahead, Corey.
But 2 improved on the first game in a lot of ways. I think the horse was cool. I thought that game was awesome. The weapons were cool, and the combat felt more fluid. Just the loot mechanic was a great addition to that game. And I love that game a lot, and I really hope that there's some Darksiders 3 coming, and I hope that it's going to be able to be played on the Switch, because I feel like even though Darksiders is supposed to be a darker, more mature, quote unquote experience, I think Darksiders fits really well in Nintendo's library, and it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo went out of their way like they did with Bayonetta 2 and said, because that team still exists within THQ Nordic, and
yes,
it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo went to them and was like, look, we're going to throw you some money. We want to make Darksiders an exclusive. We think it fits well within our library, and it could sit alongside Bayonetta as that mature style game that Nintendo fans kind of want on the system. I think it would be good. I think Darksiders fits well within Nintendo. So
they captured the essence of a Zelda game to the T.
Yeah.
So
and
we'll have Breath of the Wild.
You don't get that at first, because you're like, oh well, this game kind of looks like a God of War game, like a cheap knockoff of God of War, like when you first start playing it, and then you get to that first dungeon in the first game at least, and you're like, oh man, now I gotta solve some puzzles. Man,
right?
So good.
Boss to get the weapon for that dungeon. Yeah.
Definitely. If you're into Zelda, you should definitely check out Darksiders 1 and 2.
Yeah. I could just see Nintendo going to Capcom and to THQ Nordic and be like, look, we want an Okami 2 because you guys know how to do that well, and we want Darksiders 3.
Don't tease me, Ed. Don't tease me with that Okami 2 talk.
I'm just saying. I know there's a DS version. I know there's a handheld version, but as a console, yeah.
I really wish they would have. I really wish they would have ported. I really wish they would have ported that first one to Wii U too.
Capcom is making too much money off of Nintendo. So
I know.
With of Capcom not to go to Nintendo and be like, we want to put Okami 2 on Switch.
Yeah.
But my 14 is one of yours, Rayman Legends.
Nice.
Beautiful graphics, music, 4-player. It was kind of the introduction to Amiibo, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it because it went exclusive and it didn't go through. But it's such a fantastic game. So yeah, number 14 for me is Rayman Legends.
Such a good game, and the Wii U version is the definitive because the gamepad player gets their exclusive character and their they can help the other players out by like placing stuff down and stuff. Yeah. Similar to new Super Mario Brothers. But my number 13 game, Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U. Still to this day, even though the other two games aren't on Wii U, which is sad because I really would have liked to seen Mass Effect 2 at least come to Wii U. But I still think the gamepad, like the things you can do with the gamepad for Mass Effect, the way you can control your party members as well. I think gameplay-wise, Mass Effect 3 on Wii U is a definitive way to play it. You can control your teammates. You got the map on your screen. You got a bunch of stuff you can do with the gamepad. And to this day, I still have this argument with people saying, look, Mass Effect 3 on Wii U is the best version of that game. And I know it didn't get any of the DLC. I know it didn't get anything because it sold very poorly, because that same week they released the Mass Effect Trilogy collection on the other two consoles for the same price as this one on the Wii U.
Yes. Which
I also argue they could have just ported the other two games without any gamepad support to the Wii U and done the same thing. But man, that version of Mass Effect 3 is so good. So that's my
argument over here.
So
my number 13 is a game that you just got, Corey, and that's the Wonderful 101.
Yeah, I had that game for a while, and then like I traded it in for something else because I went through this really weird phase where I didn't really, like, after I was done with the game, I just felt like I didn't need to keep it, which is a terrible decision. It was a terrible decision. That's a story for a different
video. Well, definitely for me, to the beautiful Joe vibes. So great game. Hard to master, I should say. So be aware for that. But it's once again great action, just completely still funny. So yeah, that Wonderful 101 is my decision. 13.
Nice. I like that game a lot. It was like this cool twist on the Pikmin mechanic and like a bunch of so good. So good. But my number 12 game, Injustice: Gods Among Us. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but I've probably spent I probably spent 150 hours with this game, just like nailing down. I was like, I want to get good at like two different characters and just get really, really good with them. And I was playing like the story mode and stuff. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna play as Green Arrow, and I'm gonna play as Batman, and I'm gonna get really good with these characters. And then it turns out Green Arrow is the only character that can really do any damage to Superman, because Superman's like, well, Superman can fly and like do all this other things, and he's really strong, and he's basically like super overpowered in that game, I think. And Green Arrow can shoot stuff out of his, he can shoot a bow and arrow, and he can take down Superman when he's flying. So like it was so good. And then I figured out that Batman actually kind of sucks in that game, so I switched to like Green Lantern. I switched to Green Lantern, and Green Lantern can do a lot of cool stuff. So but yeah, Injustice is. I cannot wait for Injustice 2, and I'm so excited because the collector's edition is rumored to come with a Supergirl statue, and I'm really into Supergirl right now, the TV show, and I'm just like,
I haven't seen it yet.
It's really bad, but it's really good at the same time. It's like it's one of those things. It's just one of those things that I keep watching because I just feel like I need to. But it's really like I like it. It's cheesy, but it's different from anything else DC does on TV, where it's all dark and sad, and everybody looks like they just kind of want to jump off the roof of a building and see what happens.
Yeah.
But it's totally different from that everything else. So that's why I like it, I think. But yeah, awesome. Injustice. I love that game so much. And then I'm sorry. And then I forgot. Like it came to PS4 games, the PlayStation Plus free games, and then it hooked me all over again because it gave like 4 new characters to play around with, and I could play online, and yeah, it was. It got me.
Yeah, like I said, I have that game. I just gotta put more time into it. And I was just like, okay, I get this, but I got so much other stuff to play, and that happens to me a lot. So, my number 12 though, rocking. I can't believe that this got made, but it did get. I'm glad that they made it and kind of set the series to a whole new level. Hyrule Warriors. You cannot deny that game was not fun to play. You like beating enemies up in the Zelda games. Well, this has your fix, and it's so very well. And a lot of people don't realize that kind of games from Tecmo, they were at first very niche. They were only for like a few kind of people who were into the Dynasty Warrior games. Were for a few people. Hyrule Warriors came out, was laughed at for a lot of people. People picked it up, and that whole weekend, around 500,000 players, or just a whole bunch of people were playing the game, enjoying it, and like all the weekend through Twitter. And on Facebook, people were posting screens and just discussing the game on how good it was. And then getting all these female characters in the game to the point where they was mocking Ubisoft that, a game from Nintendo can have all these characters, but you guys can't design one for Assassin's Creed Unity. Like crazy. Animation is fun, is good. And still to this very day, even though we have opinions about the 3DS version, the game on Wii U is just still wonderful to play.
Yeah, I agree.
And then playing on the Legend of Zelda map for this stuff, and all the season DLC will only be in $20 and just offer you so much. It's such a huge game for $60.
Yeah, I can't believe how much DLC they put out for $20. I'm like, man, $20 season pass. That I don't know how that's going to work with a game like this. But then you got like the Majora's Mask pack, you got the Wind Waker pack, you got all these it was just amazing. It was awesome.
Yes. So Hyrule Warriors, I should say.
Nice. All right, so we're heading into our top 10. So my top 10
for number 11.
Oh wait, crap! I forgot. You're right. We're on a number 11. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so my number 11 is Super Mario Maker. I think that even though I don't really have the time to like sit there and make these complicated levels, but I think it is awesome that people have been trying to do this on like through weird ways online and these weird tool sets that you could download, and you know, it is just a cool way to give us that experience to build our own Mario levels. And the fact that they put 4 different skins in there and items from all of our favorite Mario games growing up, and you know, the fact that you could build a new Super Mario 3 level and just play it was just awesome. just awesome. Or like, you know, making a Super Mario world level and putting in secret areas and backdoor ways to get out of the level. And it was just awesome. And the things that I watched online, or, you know, the time I played a couple of Matt's levels or Todd's son's level, you know, it was just, that game is something special. And, you know, I recognize how awesome, just like we use the word awesome a lot, but like, you know, just the power of that game, that the power it gave gamers is just, it's awesome. Plus, it came with 100 new Mario levels just to play.
Yes.
So,
and can I say this? And I'm gonna let you go. Just like the Wii U version, the 3DS version for this holiday season sold like hotcakes.
yeah,
Like every time it came into stores, it was gone. And just like Mario Maker, when it came out to Wii U, when it came out, it was gone.
yeah, and it had that. It was the cool art book it came with was awesome. Like the idea book or whatever. That was cool. I still have mine. It's sitting on my shelf over here. It was cool.
I still love the box art.
Yeah, that Maker. Box art is awesome. Like the cool Mario construction, just like that aesthetic and that, you know, art direction for the box and the promos and stuff. All that's just really cool. It's really cool. So Mario Maker.
Yay! So number 11 for me, Captain Toad Treasure Tractor, a $40 game. This game was design game was taken out of Super Mario World and a 3D world, and you know, made it to its own game. Completely funny, great puzzles. Just a fun thing to pop in and play. It's not too long, but it's worth the investment. So Captain Toad Treasure Tractor. I'm like, it's a great puzzle game, and at some levels it makes you think. But you know, how do I play a Mario game that doesn't allow me to jump? Mm-hmm. That you would be asking yourself, or Mario style game, I should say. That would actually. And you just put the time in it, you be able to figure everything out. So yeah, such a good game, and it came with an amiibo. So you might be able to still find one that came out with the Toad amiibo. So yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tractor is my number 11.
Nice.
Now, Corey, we get into our top 10.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're getting into our top 10. Sorry, that was my bad the last time. So my number 10 game on the system is New Super Mario Brothers U. And a lot of people argue that we got a lot of 2D Mario games at the time. You know, I think we also got too many 2D Mario games. But when this game came out, the last 2D Mario game I played was New Super Mario Brothers on the DS. So I was excited for a new 2D Mario game, and I 100%ed this game twice. And this game, like I would play through the levels, and every time I would beat a world, I would go back and try to get all 3 coins. And the last 2 worlds of that game are just like, they're so hard to find all those coins. And it's just, I think that the new Super Mario games don't get the credit that they deserve. I think that they are, you know, they're simple enough to play through, but they're hard to master. And it is just the perfect representation of what Nintendo has built themselves on. And that's the 2D Mario game. In this game, no exception. This game was awesome. It's pretty. You know, that has a cool art direction. There's one level in particular, the Starry Night level, was just so cool to play through. And I wish they would have taken a little bit more time to do other cool levels like that. But New Super Mario Brothers U for Wii U is my number 10 game. I love that game so much.
Awesome. And for me, my number 10 is Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. Like we talked about earlier about the music, the J-pop in this game is the fighting, the gameplay, the story, everything is just fantastic. I haven't finished it yet, but I am working on getting that. Like Corey said, the Persona games. I love the Persona. I hate the fact that Persona 5 got moved to April. But Tokyo Mirage Session, Atlas working with Nintendo to bring this game out. It's just was just a great. I'm so happy that they did it. But yeah, I love this game. Like it was one of the hardest games to find. I actually had to go to Target to buy this game because nobody in my area was carrying it. Not even GameStop had any copies.
Oh jeez.
Session. I know. Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE is my number 10. Like this is one of the top role-playing games, pure role-playing games that you need to play. There's another one that's on my list that's higher up, which you probably could figure out. But this one is a definite, this needs to be in your library like now.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, if I spent more time with that game, it would probably be way higher on my list. But I knew it deserved to be on this list, and what I played of it was phenomenal. So, my number 9 game is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Like Ed said before, it's a cool way to make a platformer without being able to jump, and figuring out the puzzles and getting all the collectibles in a level before moving on is such a challenge. You know, the levels aren't exactly that hard to finish, but to get everything, and like they place the items in the level so you can see them and you're like, oh, I need to get that. And it plays to the OCD in gamers very well, to where like, oh, well, I could walk left and finish the level, or I could spend another hour and a half trying to figure out how to get that coin or that star. So, yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is my number 9. Love that game. So good.
Well, my number 9 is Paper Mario Color Splash. What else can I say about this game besides it being gorgeous, being funny? I love the Paper Mario series, and a lot of people can't believe that I still love that series. Ever since I played the first Paper Mario on N64, I have enjoyed myself. This one is no different. I love just searching everywhere, getting to fights, finding the secrets. The story is just wonderful, getting all the toads and stuff. I'm like, it's a kid's game, like my first RPG in a way, but it's kind of it goes deeper than that, and I love the fact that it just makes me laugh and it makes me feel like another kid. Like Nintendo nailed it, and I love when they make the realistic graphics of like a kitchen or something come in. It's still breathtaking, beautiful. So yeah, number 9, Paper Mario Color Splash.
Oh man, speaking of realistic looking things, my number 8 game is Pikmin 3.
Okay, we shared the same thing. We finally connected. Pikmin 3 is my number 8 also.
Pikmin 3, I think Pikmin is like one of the greatest hidden gems on any Nintendo platform. Like Pikmin 1, like on depending on what mood I'm in on that day, is my favorite GameCube game. Pikmin 1 is amazing, and the fact that, you know, Pikmin 3, they made a Pikmin 3 for Wii U. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And like when you would like observe the fruit before you turned it into juice, it was like a photorealistic orange or a strawberry. Yes. And you're like, how do they get it to look that real on this on this Wii U? It looks so good. Oh, Pikmin 3, man. Oh, so good. And I thought the twist of having the 3 pilots, and you could like separate out the Pikmin to each pilot and like solve puzzles that way. So smart.
And I don't want to say photorealistic, but my goodness, the water in that game. I know we talk about water a lot. The water in that game just looks. Oh, they knocked it. Like this game is, you could just put it on your HD TV, whatever size TV you have, and show people, not even move yet, and they will be amazed on how beautiful, how crisp, and how colorful this game is. Even though it's a strategy game, it's very easy to get into. Just looking at it, it's just like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen anything this breathtaking in a while. Yes, I talked about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Yes, I talked about Paper Mario. And I'm gonna talk about another game when I get to it later on that does very well with its art style. But Pikmin 3, it's like you said, Corey, a hidden gem, and it's just a game that you, hopefully, if you bought Mario Kart 8 when it first came out, that this was the game that you decided to get for free. That's how I got Pikmin 3.
Yeah, and like the DLC, like when this game came out, like they patched it probably. I think it came out in like August or September or something, and they patched it around Christmas time.
Yes.
And the fact that this game used the Wii remote and nunchuck better than any game on the Wii was amazing. It was the first time I was actually like, man, I need to bust out my Wii remote and nunchuck, because I set the gamepad on my lap because it was a map and it could tell me where I needed to go. And and it was the only way you could run and throw your Pikmin at the same time. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best way to play this game. So if you, when you get Pikmin 3, if you don't own it already, which you should, dig out your Wii remote and nunchuck and play it that way.
Yes.
So good.
Such a great game. So Corey, let's move on to our number 7 game.
Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles X is my number 7 game. So it's so big and so expansive and so just that game. And I know the characters design is like kind of anime-ish, but the way the mechs look and the way they animate and the way they move, and the fact that you can be level 100 in that game and still get your butt kicked by a dragon flying around in the sky or a giant monster that you've never encountered before is awesome. And I've played that game I played that game up until I got my mech and played a couple hours after, and then I got distracted by something else. But my Wii U has already downloaded the patches again, and I am ready to play that game as soon as I'm done with Final Fantasy 15, because I am in a JRPG mood that I haven't been in since the PS2 era. And I'm ready to grind another JRPG after this. And, it's so good. Yes. Xenoblade Chronicles is so good.
I have thoughts, and I'll get to them because it's higher up. So, my number 7 game is Mario Kart 8. Once again, when I talk about graphics, this game just blows it out the water. Just
still the best looking game this generation, I feel like.
Yes. The DLC, I'm glad that I paid the $13 for it to get everything that's on it. Link and riding that motorcycle and going through Hyrule is such fun. Like all the other tracks and all the other characters that they put, like they put so much into this game, and then riding around the world with other players is mind blowing. Like, this game is so good. Yes. So, but Mario Kart 8, still to this very day, people are playing it online. And you got to think about this. For a game that Ubisoft did with that, people just like, oh, this is going to be better than Mario Kart. And this was the game to get. After 2 weeks of playing Watch Dogs, for a lot of people, they started playing Mario Kart, and it dominated the whole summer. Even during E3, and to this very day, people are still setting up matches to play Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is, it was the first time I got my wife to play, sit down and play a game with me for longer than 10 minutes. That game is freaking amazing. It is one of my, I think it might be the best Mario Kart. Arguably, I feel like it has some of the best tracks. I think the DLC improved that game by a mile. I just that whole experience of Mario Kart 8 was just a wonderful experience. And when that DLC came out, and the Animal Crossing Villager is now my main, and the white the white dragster car that came with that DLC, oh, it's even better. And like I thought I was going to be playing as Link a lot, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play Link, and like something, I don't know, I just kept getting drawn into Animal Crossing Villager for some reason. And then I kept playing online, and it just kept getting better, and it was just that whole experience is just, it's the best. Mario Kart 8. Oh, now I want to play some Mario Kart. No, I just want to play Mario Kart, Ed. Mario Kart.
Well, Corey, what's your number 6?
My number 6 game is Splatoon. I was really surprised by this game. I didn't think I was going to like it. I like third-person shooters, but I was like, this is Nintendo. How are they going to handle this? Like, and it wasn't even really on my radar until about a month and a half before it came out. And I was like, well, I'll probably get it anyway because it's a Nintendo game, and I know this game's probably going to be hard to get if it's not popular. But the first time I popped that in, I played through the campaign. I was like, that was a pretty fun campaign. But then you get online in that multiplayer match, and you unlock the roller, and you're just running around and painting everything. I cannot tell you that, like, the game I compared Splatoon to right now is Overwatch, in that it's so simple in its mechanics, and like it's really simple, but it's so easy to get into once you start unlocking weapons or skins or t-shirts or hats that boost your abilities, and then you start unlocking, you know, the roller, and then you unlock the bigger roller, and then you unlock the sniper rifle, and you unlock all these different things to, you know, not only take out your enemies but also paint the floor or paint the walls, or you know, and the warp mechanic on the touchscreen is such an awesome mechanic to where you can get right back into the fight after you die, instead of, you know, like the one complaint I have about Overwatch is everybody in that game is so slow, and there's no sprint button, and you're literally running to the point for like sometimes 2 minutes. You're trying to get to your teammates, and like the fact that you can just tap on a teammate and warp to the closest teammate, or where, you know, where a teammate needs help, is just one of the smartest things I've ever seen. And that's why Splatoon is one of my favorite games on the Wii U.
It was a day one purchase for me, and I'm going to admit that it's not on my list because I figured that you will put on it. And I truly love Splatoon. Like, I think it's one of the best original IPs from Nintendo that has came out. Like you said, getting into that multiplayer mode, you think 3 minutes doesn't mean a lot, but it does, because you're having so much fun, and the switching of the players that you are with. So the skill levels for everybody is going everywhere, and it doesn't matter how many people you kill. It depends on how much area you cover with your ink, and the battles between get for a spot with your ink is one of the best feelings. Like, if you able to overcome and take their area with your ink, good about it. If you don't, you kind of be like, okay, I hope my team is doing at least getting other parts. And when you respawn and go back to that area, or people forget about you and forget what the game is about, you kind of realize that it's so easy, it's so fun, it's so addictive that those 3 little minutes just pass by, and you'd be like, okay, hurry up, game load, so I could get back into another match. Yeah, but I love Splatoon. Even though it's not on my list, it is like one of the best on it.
Yeah.
And like I said, only reason why I didn't put it on is, Corey, because I thought you would put it on. So I'm glad that you did say Splatoon. If you didn't, then I'll have to like make a quick change for one of my games.
Oh
So,
man, what's your sixth game, Ed?
Super Smash Brothers Wii U. I have the Wii U and 3DS version, and I kind of play the game with my 3DS as for a control. This game is huge. The 8-player battles are so good that the commentary alone makes it worth the purchase, makes it worth the fight. Yes, don't care about your skill. I don't care if you button mash, or I don't care if I win or lose the match. Being around 7 other people trying to be a winner in that game, or even watching other people, like if you watch the game and form a commentary, you get hype, intensive, and it's so funny. And when the best players, even if you get knocked out, and you're sitting there watching the best players go at it, the anticipation of who's going to be number one, you get surprised and be like, wow, who's going to win? And then when that person wins, like everybody in the room be like, oh, and it's just such, it's so fun to watch, but it's such fun to play. You could go online on YouTube. They have where they did all the reveal trailers back to back. Those presentations were so good. So many modes, and even with like I said, the 3DS version is good in its own right. The extra DLC characters, having Ryu, Bayonetta, and all these other stuff, like they went beyond above and beyond for this game. So definitely Super Smash Bros. Wii U is definitely on this list. And watching people at Evo play this game, it's just mwah. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't put Smash Brothers on my list for the same thing. The reason why you didn't put Splatoon on yours. I figured, our top fives are going to be so similar that I feel like, we have to have some sort of change in there. And I recognize, like, Smash Brothers. This is the first time I got into Smash Brothers since the N64 version. Like, I played a lot of the GameCube version in college, and I loved playing with friends and stuff, but I never really sat down and took the time to, like, be good at it. And this was the first time I actually really got into it. I tried all my normal characters from those games, like Link and Mario and stuff, but none of them ever felt like, I was like, there's something off. And then I was playing King Dedede. I'm like, nobody likes this character, so I'm going to try to be super good with this character. And I did it as a joke at first, but the more I kept playing, and the more I kept playing online, and the more I kept facing different characters, I was like, I am actually learning how to use this character the right way. And, like, when I couldn't find that amiibo, the King Dedede amiibo, I was like, dang it. But then the other ones came out for Robobot, like we were discussing earlier in the episode, and I was like, yes, King Dedede I finally have an amiibo to train and play with. And I stuck it in when I got that amiibo for a little bit and trained my King Dedede up, and I was like, man, this game is amazing. And the care that they took with not only their own characters, but Pac-Man, Mega Man, Sonic, these third-party characters, like that, the care that Nintendo takes with these characters and treats them like their own is just, say what you will about Nintendo, and, like, you're obviously a Nintendo fan if you're watching the show, but even if you're not, you can't deny that Nintendo does not take care of their franchises and does something special with other people's.
Yes. So we're at the number 5 mark. Corey, what is your number 5?
Yes. Top five. Time code number there. Okay. So my number 5 game is Axiom Verge, the best Metroid game on the darn system. This game, like, I originally played it on PS4, and I was like, you know what? I need to play this on Wii U. And that's where it fits. That's where it's home. This game is freaking amazing. It is Metroid in every single way you want it to be. The music sounds like Metroid. The gameplay is like Metroid. the secret areas and the weapons and the bosses, like everything down to a T. And the fact that this game was made by one person is just, oh my gosh. It's just, I know a lot of people make their own games. A lot of people are doing like, 1 or 2 man teams. Stardew Valley is another great example of a 1-man team creating a great game. But man, Axiom Verge is one of the best games I've played this generation, hands down. I would put it right up there with Shovel Knight as like one of the best available indie games on the system.
Yes.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And when you save and the way the egg closes up and the way you like just come out and you're like, you got to shoot the door to go into the next area. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's Metroid. Everything. Sorry. I just want a new Metroid game.
It's okay. It's a great game. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. It's so good.
For me, Super Mario Maker. I think this game is way better than Minecraft. Because it lets you be a designer. And it kind of makes you respect what people who make video games on what they do, whether the game is bad or not, whether you criticize them or not. You got to realize that people have to think about this and design this from a different perspective. So to get that somewhat understanding, whether you're indie, third party, or probably thinking about how Nintendo make their games, Super Mario Maker is one of the best entries of level creation ever made. I enjoy making levels, putting stuff out. I need to return it so I can put out more levels. It's just other people's levels and seeing where their creation and where their mind at, and giving them feedback and being positive, or just let them know what they need to work on and stuff. Like it's such a good feeling. So I mean, it makes you feel like a test player, but it also makes you feel like a designer, and something that could take in real time to play. It equals 3 to 5 hours or even days to get that right platforming, to get that right where you want your ideas to go. It takes a good while. So Super Mario Maker definitely for me is number 5.
Nice. My number 4 game is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I played this on the Wii U. I stand by that this is the best Assassin's Creed game. I did not expect anything from this game after Revelations in 3, but I had a GameStop gift card, and I already had every other Nintendo game when this came out, and I didn't have a PS4 yet. And I was like, okay, I want to play this game. It looks cool. I like pirates. I think the pirate theme is cool. Let's see what it's like. So I bought it. I dumped 75 hours into this game, and I 100%ed this game on the Wii U, which I don't think anybody else can say did that. I thought that game still controls better than anything they release afterwards. I think the upgrading your ship and the ship battles are just awesome. I wish Ubisoft would make a pirate game and just lift it out of this. I think that would be just awesome. And I never got to Rogue. I was expecting that to come to Wii U, and it never did. So I mean, I still would like to go back and play that game someday. But man, the outfits you unlock, the pirate lore that's like so real, and the way they took care of these characters, and some of the character twists, like Captain Kidd is a female, and you learn that later, and it's just, it was awesome. It was just awesome. It was the game I needed at that time. It was actually the last game I beat before I met my wife. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my number 4 is, because I have Black Flag, but I need to work on it. My number 4 is Yoshi's Woolly World, and I'm going to say this, and we're going to continue on to number 3. Yoshi's Woolly World, yes, the best, and it's really hard saying this. It has the best soundtrack of
Oh my
all
gosh,
time
yeah.
on the Wii.
Yes.
Art style, and I love the level design. This soundtrack, though, much as I want to argue, Super Mario 3D World soundtrack is one of the greatest. Um, Separate those two. This is the best soundtrack on this system. That's very, very calming, and every level that you play, you just really want to sit there and listen to the music. He really went in.
Yeah.
I love the yarn Yoshis. I love the big yarn Yoshi. My mom has one.
I still need to get a big one.
I would
love to have a big one.
Oh,
yes. I have all the little ones, but I would love to have just like the big one, because like I'm gonna admit it, I like cool looking stuffed animals, and I feel like Yoshi would sit right at home over here with some of my other ones.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but Yoshi's Woolly World, like I brought it when it came out, and I didn't play it at first because I was playing other stuff, and then I sat down and really played it, and almost wanted to tear up and cry because on how well designed it was. It was fun, and I don't care what anyone say or think about me, whatever. But it's such a close game to my heart. That's made me realize that this is the reason why I love Nintendo and their design for video games. When they don't have to be violent. They don't have to make a game feel like a movie or go some cliche route or, try to be big and grand, have the best technique. They don't have to do that. All they have to do is provide the fun. If they provide the fun, they should be rewarded. And this game just still and I can't wait for that's why I say I can't wait for the 3DS version. But man, just playing this game, if you, like I said, if you want it to be hard to get everything, that challenge is there. But the soundtrack to this game is just breathtaking. Like it's almost as good as Chrono Trigger and Ion Setsuna or any fantastic orchestrated music for any role-playing game that you think of, or any game at that matter. But yeah, number 4 for me is Yoshi's Woolly World. It's a must-have. It, like, if you get a copy, if you step on a copy and you break, find a way to get another copy.
Yeah, that game is something. It is amazing. I agree with you 100%. That soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard in my life. And it's not that it's like some grand, like epic soundtrack. It's just, it calms you down. It makes you feel good. It's just really beautiful music to listen to. And it's just, I totally agree with you. My number 3 game is Mario Kart 8. I know we've said a lot about this game, but like I said, I had a ton of fun with teaching my wife how to play, and she would play it regularly, and that was exciting to me because my wife isn't really into video games. She plays like one or two. She'll play puzzle games on her phone or whatever, but this was a game that I got her to sit down on the couch over here with me, play on the big screen, actually take the time to learn how to do the mechanics. She learned out who all the characters were. She mains Rosalina. She, mains motorcycles. She loves hitting people with red shells, and she's not afraid to rub it in my face when she beats me. That whole experience. I mean, it's a great game in its own right. It's a beautiful game. No frame rate hiccups whatsoever at 60 frames a second. The assets are beautiful. They're always going to be beautiful. It's Nintendo. It's Mario. Those games are always going to look amazing. But I think the experience I had with that game, and finally sitting down with my wife and playing that game together, was what ranks this game so high for me. And it was something different that I hadn't experienced in a long time. was that
Yes.
we were playing together but against each other type thing, and it was just fun to watch her slip on a banana peel, or her shoot a blue shell at me when I'm in first place and she passes me, or it was just that interaction that places this game so high for me. And like, maybe that's a reason why I think this is my favorite Mario Kart game. I'm not 100% sure, maybe I'll never know, but that's why this game ranks so high for me.
Awesome. Well, my number 3 that I was at the store out like in the morning, and I was the first one and probably the only one to buy a copy. That's Xenoblade Chronicles X. I downloaded the patches and everything, but ever since I played the regular Xenoblade Chronicles, I was hooked. This game,
that first game is amazing.
When they showed the graphics, I was blown away. I was just like, this is gorgeous, and it's still gorgeous. And know that the people at A4 Play who did the localization and worked on this game, just added more. But like, even the side quests, like, you don't even like the main quest of the story of the game, you can figure out on your own, or if you want to follow it. And the game is so deep and so long that you could pretty much spend about 25 to 30 hours still in the beginning before you even get on with the game, with the story. So Xenoblade Chronicles X is that's my number 3. That it was my 2015 game of the year when it came out.
Yeah, that game is... That team at Monolith, Nintendo better hope they hang on to them for a long time, because... Oh,
no, they own Monolith.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They better hope Nintendo holds on to them for a long time and not let them go like Rare.
What people don't realize is that they're helping them do the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I know. They're helping them build that open world. And that's amazing that Nintendo is taking the time to have this other... I don't want to say they're less talented, but they're not. But like, you say Nintendo and you expect certain things, and to go to this little studio that has built some amazing RPGs for Nintendo, and the fact that Nintendo is going to this studio and saying, "Look, we need your help. Let us learn from you. Let us learn how to build this expansive open world, and come help us do this," is spectacular. And like, this is a conversation probably on the next episode, after we talk about Amiibo and all these other things. But this is why I have so much hope for the future of Nintendo and the Switch, is because it looks like Nintendo is actually reaching out for help. It looks like Nintendo is learning from their mistakes. It looks like Nintendo is willing to go out of their way to make the company better and their games better. And that's what excites me about Breath of the Wild. That's what excites me about Switch. And that's what excites me about the future of this company. But yes. Sorry, that was just my...
Yes. No, I'm so happy that you said that. Yay!
Yeah. And
like, what is your number 2?
Shovel Knight is my number 2 game. I love this game so much, and it was just the right game at the right time. And like, Yacht Club did something so special, and I know like they're a spinoff of Way Forward, and Way Forward makes great games. Like, I love the Shantae games. I think they made Contra 4. I think that game was pretty solid, and like, they do great work. But the fact that this was their first game, and the fact that they made it a Nintendo timed exclusive because they wanted to make a Nintendo game, the fact that they paid so much homage to all those old Nintendo games, like, so I think... a lot of people like to compare it to Mega Man because all the bosses do something different. But I think that this game is more homage to like Zelda 2 and DuckTales and Castlevania than Mega Man. I think that this game is just amazing. The pixel art is amazing. The level design is amazing. The world map is cool to look at. Like, it just does a lot of cool things. The town... When you go into town, it reminds you so much of the Zelda 2 town, and like, people are just screwing around, and then there's a man with a horse head, and you're like, who the heck are you, and why do you exist? It's just amazing. It's just awesome.
Yes.
Oh, Shovel Knight. It's a great game. What's your number 2, Red?
Oh, everybody should. If you know me, Everybody should know this. And this one was very hard to say to make this decision, but Bayonetta 2. I still have the demo for this game on my system, even though I beat the game multiple times. This game is so good.
Yes, Bayonetta is amazing.
It was my 2014 game of the year. I'm sorry, I had to call it what on my stuff's game of the year, but at 60 frames per second, the art style is gorgeous. Like this game has, like you said, Corey, it has no hiccups. Like it is, to me, it's so flawless. Like it's a perfect 10. Getting the dodges, the weapons, the other putting Bayonetta in other Nintendo outfits. But if you bought the first edition, you got Bayonetta 1 for free, so you kind of got the complete story. Like this game, the combos that you make and the weapons that you decide to get amazes me on what Nintendo allowed Platinum to do. And pretty much Nintendo said, whatever way that you want to make this game, make it. And they would come in, they would make some suggestions and walk out the door and let Platinum do what they needed to do. And I think it's because of Bayonetta 2 that they got so much, Platinum got so much exposure to be worked with so many companies. You know, and I haven't tried near Automata just yet, but I heard that game, it looks like it's gonna bring Platinum back to what they're known for. The Transformers Devastation on the other systems were good, but it has to start off with Bayonetta 2. Just like that game, from the moment you start from the beginning to the end boss, like, and you can play it on any level and get a good challenge. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to get all those when you try to get all those S rankings, it is no joke.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no,
Bayonetta 2.
It is no joke. Like I don't have Bayonetta 2 on my list because I knew you were going to have a lot to say about it. I know you're crazy for the game, and I love this game too. It probably would have been somewhere between like 8 and 12 for me if I would have included it on my list. But I knew that you have such love for this game. That's why I left it off my list. The best game to me on the Wii U is Super Mario 3D World.
Yes!
It just knocked over everything.
That's my number one. That is my number one.
I think.
Go ahead.
Super Mario 3D World is my favorite a 3D Mario game since N64. I think it is the best Mario experience. And like, I like Galaxy and stuff and everything. I think that those games are amazing in their own right, but this game fused the 3D and the 2D so well. It created these small spurts of levels, and the fact that they pulled off the multiplayer so well, or you could play through the whole game single player and still do everything. Like, this is the best Mario experience I've had in a long time, and I feel like this game gets short-sighted a lot too because of the fact that it's not a full 3D Mario game, and that sucks because this is honestly one of the best Mario games ever made. And like when I was reviewing a lot of games on DNAnetwork.net, like this was the only game I gave a 10 to out of all the games that I reviewed, and like I stand by that to this day. This game is amazing. All the characters feel unique that you can play as, and the fact that you can play through the whole game again as Rosalina when you're done, and the fact that after you beat World 8, it keeps going, and after you beat that first special stage, there's a second special stage and a third special stage, and these levels are incredibly difficult, especially to find everything in. It's just in the cat suit.
Oh, I was about to bring up the power-ups. I love the cat suit. I love climbing up the walls and just sliding down, just like that's beautiful. And I love climbing the pole to the top, and when they win, you be like, "Hero, meow," just like it's so funny. But I have got to say, and I know I mentioned Yoshi's Woody World and this game are separate by music. This is the best music of all time on Wii U. I even though I said that for Yoshi's Woody World, that one as a 3D World is the best live orchestrated music on Wii U compared to Yoshi's Woody World being the most charming, like being like kind of keyboard and stuff, and very light and relaxing. Every level in 3D World, from the first level to the end, to the mini bosses, to fighting the Koopa kids and everything, oh, great, fantastic design, breathtaking. Just like ever since they showed it off, I wanted this game. It still looks beautiful. It has a cartoony feel to it in a way. But oh man, and doing the little races when you're all 4 players running through like a 2D kind of Sonic inspired level, it feels so great. But yeah, Super Mario 3D World is like, if I had to game just to have on my Wii U, of course I would pick Xenoblade Chronicles X, but if I really truly had to make a decision on what game to really pick, Super Mario 3D World would be the one game that I would just want on my Wii U and be done.
Yeah, that's it is one of the most perfect games I've ever played in my life, and it's just I can't even tell you how I can't believe that was both of our number 1 games. Ah!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That end picked me.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ed, we did it.
Yes, we did it.
We made a top 25 Wii U games episode. Finally.
Yes.
We've only been talking about this since I think before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the Wii U is going to be one of those systems that's remembered fondly, like the GameCube. I feel like I just feel like 10 to 12 years from now, when people are like, man, remember that Wii U? And I know like the Switch is probably going to get a bunch of Wii U ports, and I know like the way digital distribution is now is everything's going to be different, but I feel like the Wii U and the games that it had on it people are gonna remember them fondly, like they did GameCube or N64. And it's just sad that the system didn't sell as much as I feel like it should have, because it is a great system. And like, there are amazing games not on either of our lists. You know, it's just
yes.
Both the Zelda games are just still. It's the definitive version of Twilight Princess. It's the best. The best Zelda game. I need to play that. I need to play that after I finish Final Fantasy. I need to play that. I need to play Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I need to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I need to finish them all before Zelda comes out.
Exactly. Or should I got to finish all of that stuff before? Well, Resident Evil 7 is this month, but I got to finish all of that before Horizon comes out.
Yeah, that too. I forgot about Horizon. Yeah. Dang it! I gotta.
Well, you got to finish before South Park, so but I don't have to worry about that game. So.
Yeah, you know what? I think I love South Park a lot, but like I'm looking at the games coming out, and like with the Switch coming out, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on that. And I'm like, maybe South Park can be like a next fall or like birthday / Christmas type game. Because I'm just like
budget.
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, yeah, I guess I am gaming on a budget. I guess you can call it that. But there's a lot of games that I would like to have before that. And like I'm looking at games, I'm like, I don't really want to pay $60 for it, but I would really like to have that game eventually. You know, Gravity Rush 2 is a great example of that. Like, I like the first one on Vita, but I don't want to pay $60 for that on PS4. So like maybe when that game drops to like $25 or $30 and like Christmas is coming around again next year or this year, I guess, and you know, birthday and all that kind of stuff, like maybe I'll asked for it then. And I feel like South Park might slide into that category as well.
Oh, okay.
Not that I'm not excited for South Park. I think that game looks amazing. But
I'm not. I don't.
Yeah, no. And maybe it'll come to Switch, and maybe I'll be more excited for it. But man, we did it. We did.
So happy.
That was a good episode. We had a great discussion. We always have good Nintendo discussions.
Yes, we do.
It was good. It was good. Now to record another one of these tomorrow for next week and get Kyle on. But Ed, why don't you tell everybody where we can find you?
Well, I'm going to keep it short because I have some other things that I got in the plans, in the works. But you can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. And you can find my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. The Anonymous Radio Network.podbean.com. You can also find it on. And I'm also one of the hosts of World 101 podcast, which you can find on iTunes, archive.org, Google Play, and on SoundCloud. If you subscribe to my to Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, you'll get Optional Opinion and you'll get World 101 podcast. So yeah, I do have some blogs coming for DNA and for skirmishfrogs.com, which I call The Moment. That's one of my retro series. And I'll be getting ready to do my Optional Opinion feature blog later on this month in January on IGN. So you can check that out. If you want to see my past works on IGN, you could go to Anime, ENIME. Just type that in and you'll see some of my Optional Opinion blogs there. And hopefully here on DNA, I will have later up my review of kind of like 2016, like my gaming review, the good, the bad, and the eye roll is what I'm going to be calling it. So some of the good things that I enjoyed about gaming in 2016, some of the bad things, and some of the things that was just whatever. So look out for that.
Yeah. And you can find me on the DNA Network everywhere. You can find us on DNAnetwork.net. You can find us on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. Like I said at the beginning of this episode or the beginning of the week, if you're watching it broken out, we are breaking this show out now every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on the YouTube page.
And I would like to mention, that I'm on Podcast Connected. I'm part of Team Nerd with Kyle Wait. So do check that out also on the YouTube page, Team Nerd in 3RD.
Yeah. And I'll be back on Connected this week as well. So I'm excited. Yay. I'm sorry I missed the last episode. It's been a crazy time at work. I'll just leave it at that. And where was I? Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube page. You can find this show daily now at 9 a.m. It will be broken up every day. And then the full episode going up on Fridays, maybe Saturday. It depends on how long the episode is. So we're still working out those instructions as well. So you can follow me at Rogue Spartan 4, though I think I might be trying to find a more creative Twitter and Instagram name, but you can follow me there for now at Rogue Spartan 4 on Twitter and Instagram. You can also join the Facebook community page for the DNA Network, where if you have cool stuff you want to share, you can share it there as well, or just talk games or movies or whatever. So, Ed.
And if you want to friend us on Wii U, mine is Optional Opinion, all in one word in capital letters.
Yeah, and I'm also Rogue Spartan 4 on Wii U as well. And Ed, until tomorrow when we record another episode.
Until next time,
we love you. Bye, Wii U.
We love you guys.
Bye, Pikmin 3.
Yes.
And Super Mario
3D World. And Shovel Knight.
And Shovel Knight. And Axiom Verge.
Just go through our list.
If you haven't listened to the whole episode, go back through and listen. Bye, all.
Everybody have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.